Hello and welcome to Racing in Queensland. I'm your host Jesse McDonald, my co-host Paul Knight. Welcome, Paul.
Jess, lovely to be here this week.
Mate, we've got a bumper show coming up this week. We've got interviews with Robert Heathcote, Brisbane's leading trainer. We've got Brisbane's leading jockey Larry Cassidy on as well. We're down the track with Johnny Wallace and we take a look at Racetree's stallion, Menshe Mountain. So it's a bumper show, so stay tuned with us during the half hour where we look at a number of segments. And as well, we tipped a big winner last week in Hummer, Knightsy.
We did. Congratulations, Jess. 20-1. You had 3 of the 4 winners. I had 2 of 3 with a late scratching and a trifecta. So we've started off, but we can't rest on our laurels. We're going to tip you 4 from 4 this week, both of us.
That's what I like to hear, but waste no time. Let's get down to the Need to Breed where we catch up with Menshe Mountain. Before us, Mark, is Menshe Mountain, a very well-travelled individual.
Yeah, Jess, Menshe started his stud duties in 2001 in Australia and in Ireland. He stood at in Australia for a few years, then went back to America in 2005, and then we acquired him after that. He's been a really good horse for Queensland. The thoughts behind bringing him back to Queensland was to chase the cutest 2-year-old prize money, which has proved to be a success. He's well known for his good early precocious sort of 2-year-old forward-going horses, nice short coupled, and then they have been getting up training on as 3-year-olds too, which has been good to see. Menshe, he's probably best known for the John Wallace trained La Montagne. However, just on Saturday, in the Hawkesbury Guineas, the listed race at Hawkesbury there, Pimpala Secret won, which is a Menshe Mountain trained by Mark Connors. So he gets a winner every weekend. Jesse's getting 2 or 3 winners in different states. As you touched on before, he's well travelled. And he's got a lot of winners overseas too. And you name a country, I could name you a winner he's had there. He's been a really good horse like that, really good bread and butter horse.
He gets supported with good books each year.
He does, Jess. We were really overwhelmed with the first book he got once he arrived back in Queensland, back into Australia. He filled up pretty much, people ringing up with 2 and 3 mares for the horse once they knew he was landed back here, which was really good. And he enjoys a good book every year. This horse, he gets close to his 100 mares every year. So,
any service fee? His
service fee is $882.
Again, good value.
Yeah, good value. Like we touched on before, you've got to keep your service fees realistic. And people can't make a return off it, they're not going to breed to your horse, So we like to do that.
Well, Mark Woolridge, thank you for joining us on Racing in Queensland, and no doubt we'll have you on the show again.
Yeah, thanks, Jess. Anytime.
Well, welcome back, and that was Menshe Mountain out there at Racetree Stud. How'd you find it out there at Racetree, Jess?
Yeah, no, it's a beautiful property and it's up for sale. It's on the market at the moment, so
is.
Anyone interested in buying it, just give Kevin Dixon a call.
Or myself.
Well, Paul, there you have it. Now let's get into the serious business, the serious sides of things, and let's look at the races and race 5. Paul, what do you like?
Yeah, race 5, the Group 3 Glen Logan Park Stakes for the fillies and mares over 1350 metres at Doomben. I like number 5, Kansan. It's from the powerful Peter Snowden stables. She's on fire. She was a good winner last start in a listed race at Hawkesbury. And she's got Corey Brown piloting her, so I think she'll be hard to beat. Number 13, I like Jasminka. Got our old mate Larry aboard. She's got the credentials. The only thing against her is a wide barrier, so we might have to give Larry a paintbrush to do the outside roll as he goes around. And for 3rd, I've thrown in number 16, Cachalet from the Brian Guy stable. She's been very consistent lately without converting, so I think she's down in the weights, and I think she'll be a very good chance as well. So that's 5, 13 and 16. Jess, what have you selected here, my friend?
I like number 12, Ladies Angel from the Joe Pride stable. It's coming up from Sydney. She's lightly raced filly. She's had 11 starts for 5 wins, a second and a third. She's drawn the 2, the informed Tim Clark, on the limit with 55.5. I think this horse is on the improve. And trained by a Group 1 trainer, I think it'll be very hard to beat. I'm putting in number 1, Alverta, who's coming back from an overseas campaign over in Europe where she was very competitive and competed with the best of them and was, you know, held her head very high.
She did.
And I like her for second. I think she's the main danger. Just a bit of a query with 58.5, but she's the class horse. And I'm putting in one here called Happy Hippie, a Sharmadale mare from the John Thompson stable. She ran third in the Queen of the Turf Stakes behind More Joyous, which is great form for this race. And I think if she can be up to her peak, she'll be very competitive. So I like 12 Ladies Angel on top from number 1, Alverta, and number 9, Happy Hippie.
Now we move on to our interview you did earlier this week with leading Brisbane trainer Rob Heathcote.
So just watch him, he's feeling pretty well. You want to go with him? As much, just to, if he plays up, just keep an eye on him. You know, Buffs, I took him out yesterday for a couple of photographs and he was all 4 off the ground, squealing and kicking. Hey, Lynch. Good one. I find one of the advantages of being here, this spot, because I get to see them all, but I get to talk to the riders and see the horses on the way onto the track, and then I get to see them and assess them as they come off the track. So it's a good spot.
You talk about managing your horses from here. What do you mean by that?
Just see how they pull up, how they do their work. I guess a better example is with regards to a horse doing fast work. If a horse has a gallop, I can say, gee, I was happy with that work, he worked really well. And you can ask the question, why did he run fast time? A horse doesn't necessarily have to run fast time to work really well. It's how they do the work, it's the enthusiasm they put into the work, and I guess to a degree the quality of the work.
What is it about it? When you talk about enthusiasm, you talk about the quality of the work. What exactly does that mean?
Well, it's like I said, it's not just the speed that they run, that it's the desire to do the work. I mean, I'm a big believer in, you know, and my owners and my staff hear me say it a lot, happy racehorses will generally race to their best. And if they're happy and content, because at the end of the day, they're bred to do this, you know, and that's run as fast as they can. And my job as a trainer, I guess, is to get the horses to run to their maximum ability. It's not possible to make a slow horse go any faster than what it conceivably can.
Absolutely.
If I've got a nice open company galloper, it's my job to get that horse through to open company and winning races. And you'll notice my staff here in track work very, very rarely carry a whip, let alone use a whip, because I'm a big believer in the horses, if they don't want to do the work, just hitting them with a whip is not going to make them do it anyway. So they've got to want to do their work, they've got to enjoy their work, then I can take them onto the races and hopefully they'll race to the best of their ability.
Happy staff, happy horses win races.
Well, and they win races and they make for happy owners. And at the end of the day, you know, the owners are, you know, the backbone of this industry. I know that's a catch-22 situation where we say that the punters put the money up and the prize money they generate, the driving force of the industry. But in my business, in my stables, the owners are number one.
You talk about owners number one. How do you see the future of Queensland racing?
Look, we're at a crossroads at the moment. There's no doubting that. I've been very happy with. I've only been in racing for a relatively short time. I started in 1997, and I've already seen some significant changes, particularly the first 5 or 6 years when the new administration took over. It's fair to say the last 5 years there's been somewhat stagnation within the industry, and I guess it's driven by the dollar. You know, we all need more money. We want more money, and it's recognised that prize money levels have to go up. It's as simple as that, but where does the prize money come from? It comes from gambling, turnover, and the turnover revenue is headed south instead of headed up.
Right.
And whether or not that's competition for the gaming dollar in all forms of gambling activities, I don't know the exact ins and outs or the statistics of it, but I do know that there's a problem there and it has to be addressed.
Is it being addressed?
Yes, it is. I mean, at the moment we have this issue with corporate bookmakers and betting agencies such as Betfair, whether they're paying their way, the funding model that actually is going to work and increase the money for the industry participants.
Well, Robert Heathcote, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for joining us on Racing in Queensland.
Cheers, Jess.
Well, welcome back. And Jess, that was a great interview with Rob. He's a very interesting man, isn't he?
He's a very interesting man, and it's quite interesting to see get a bit of an insight into why he is so successful and Brisbane's leading trainer. You know, he's talking about happy staff making happy horses which win races, and it's imperative. You know, it's quite interesting insight.
Yes, it does. It comes all down to the environment you provide for your horses.
Yeah, it is, and he creates a wonderful environment, and I'll be sending a horse to him at any day of the week. Race 6, the Darley BRC Sprint.
Yep, 1350 metres again, Group 3 race.
Sure.
What have you picked, my friend?
I found a special here.
You would?
Yeah, as always. I like number 10, Listen Son, a son of Big Jesse.
Stallion named after you, wasn't it?
It's quite named quite well, I think. I like Listen Son on top. It's drawn the 4. It's on the limit with 53. It's got the informed Larry Cassidy on board. Tony Glen, it's third up. You know, it's had 11 starts at the distance for 5 wins, 2 seconds. It's going to be very competitive. I think this horse is clearly the horse to beat in the race, and I like it on top. I'm putting in number 7, Tampico, for second, and number 2, Kenny's World, for third. But for me, I like number 10, Listen Son, as a special, and just get on. I think it'll win.
Well, that's what your mother would say to you too, isn't it? Listen, son. Anyhow, I've gone totally different to you as usual. I've taken the 8, El Chico. It's got good form over in New Zealand, and it looks a danger here to me. I've taken number 7, Tampico, from the informed Peter Moody stable. It was the last start winner at the Gold Coast. I like number 10, your special Listen Son, for third. So I like 8, 7 and 10. Now, after the commercial break, we'll be moving into the interview with Larry Cassidy you conducted earlier in the week. Larry tells us about jockeys and their weight loss regime. And also he flogs Jess around a squash court. Anyhow, after the commercial break, you'll be getting the interview with Larry Cassidy.
Hello and welcome to our segment where we catch up with Brisbane's leading jockey, Larry Cassidy, and what a great ride it was last week on Hummer, where he rode it to victory at 26-1, and I was on it, Larry.
Yeah, you tipped it, Jess. Well done.
Yeah, no, it was a great ride, and I am reaping the rewards handsomely at 26-1.
Well, if any viewers that watched the show last week, I indicated that Hummer loves Doomben, and he certainly showed that by getting up in the last stride.
Now, what was it like riding on the day? There was a big crowd there.
Oh, look, it was a fantastic day, and I think all honours has to go to the Brisbane Racing Club for the way they promoted the day. Massive crowd, more than 20,000 people, Jess, and the crowd that was round the enclosure, it was just an incredible feeling.
Now, what was it like riding against the world's fastest racehorse?
Look, you watch these horses on TV and you see her winning all these races, and you say, gee, she's a champion. But when you ride against them, you really know how good they are. And 600 metre mark, like, we'd had such a soft run, me and Hayless, and we started to quicken up. And just in the back of my mind, I thought, gee, I wonder where you are. And as we got to the turn, well, there she was, outside me. And when she let rip, like, her and Hayless, they put 6-7 lengths on me. And Buffering's no slouch. 5 Group 1 winners behind him. He hung on for third. Great run by him, but just the first 2 horses just way too good.
Yeah, no, they're 2 champions, that's for sure, both of them, and Black Caviar, the highest rated horse in the world at the moment. Now, back to Doomben on Saturday again, and you're riding, no doubt, and you've got a great book of rides. Now, let's look at the first horse, first race we want to look at. It's Hidden Kisses. Yeah,
she's going very well. Her run at the Gold Coast was good on a track that was unsuitable, and to Doomben, 2,000 metres. I think she's going to run really well, and she is definitely a knockout chance. I'm very pleased to be on her, and when she steps up to a mile and a half, the Oaks distance, well, look out.
Well, no, she looks like to be a horse that's going to get better over ground. Race 5, you're riding 1 for Brian Smith, Jazz Minkett's drawn the 20. Good luck.
Yeah, well, she's going to get back. I think we'll just ride her for luck from there, which we're probably going to have to. But she's got a powerful finish, and you know, she won a couple good mares races prior to the Carnival starting. She had a miss last start, but she's had a freshen up, and let's hope she's back on her game Saturday.
Yeah, well, barrier 20, she's going to be need to be right onto her game. Race 6, you're riding one here. Barrier 4 on the limit. Listen, son, it looks to be well in the race.
Yeah, look, he ran very good at the Gold Coast at his last start. He was 3 deep outside the leader, having a torrid run up on in a very fast run race. Now, the 2 horses he went with, they stopped and run last and second last. He still had the cheek to be looking the winner at about the 150 metre mark. Corey Brown rode him that day, and even Corey admitted that he gave him a sore back. By all reports, I think Tony Gollan's put some deep heat on him, and hopefully I can massage him back into first place.
Race 7, it's the Doomben Cup, the main race of the day. 320,000 to the winner. 5% of that wouldn't be too bad.
It'd be lovely.
Chris Waller, Triple Honour. You're on board. What do you think?
Look, he's a real good, honest horse. Obviously, the stablemate looks hard to beat. Both the imports look hard to beat. Did run 3rd in this race last year, and on his day, he could cause an upset.
Now, we caught up during the week with Larry where we were talking about weight loss management and how you manage your weight. We had a game of squash, and I'm still feeling the consequences from that game. I can hardly walk, to be honest with you. Now, Larry, talk us through about your management and how you manage your weight.
You've been a jockey, you've always got to watch what you eat and drink.
Yeah.
My life revolves around eating. Revolves
around eating very much, would it? Rabbit food?
Well, watching what you eat, and obviously, realistically, everything I do is about losing weight.
Yep.
If I go and play tennis, I put sweat gear on. Go and play squash, I put sweat gear on.
Yeah, right.
Whenever I exercise, I put sweat gear on, and it's constantly losing weight.
Now we're looking at you putting on now a space suit, or what looks like to a space suit. What is it?
It's called a sauna suit. A lot of jockeys use these,
Yep.
and you just put it on under your clothes. You put a tracksuit on and jumper, and then go and exercise, play squash, go for a walk. And it helps you lose weight very fast. Now, obviously, it's all fluid.
Yep.
So the moment you have a big drink, you put it all back on. But it's a good way to get rid of that extra weight without having to sit in a sauna, because sitting in a sauna doesn't make you fit.
Yeah, that's right. And playing squash does. Not only makes you fit, but it keeps every muscle going. Like I found out, my legs, my butt, my arms, they're all aching.
Yeah, I certainly give you a run around, didn't I?
That's very painful. But not only do you play squash to keep fit, you'd skip, you box and do a few other things.
Yeah, that's right. I train every day. It takes me about half an hour. I box, I skip, and run on the treadmill, press ups, sit ups, just mix it up a little bit, put the sweat gear on and do that. And I can usually drop between a kilo and a half, depending on how warm the day is.
Well, as the viewers are just about to see, you're losing a lot of fluid coming out of that spacesuit after the squash game. A lot just came running out.
Yeah, for sure. I actually got home and had a weigh, and I'd lost about 1 3/4 kilos. So thanks very much for that.
Yeah. I'm a personal fitness trainer. Yeah, at my expense. Well, Larry, thanks for joining us. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thanks, Jess.
The Channel 7 Brisbane Racing Carnival has something for all ages to enjoy, and the Kirk's Doomben Cup Day on May 21 is the perfect opportunity to bring the whole family to the track. The kids will love the free rides and the Ben 10 live stage show, and you can enter the whole family in the Hardy Brothers fashions on the field. There's also a fantastic mascot race on the track as well. Tickets are available through Ticketek, or visit brc.com.au for more details. Kirk's Doomben Cup Family Day on May 21.
Well, Larry certainly enjoyed playing squash against you, Jess, and you're still a bit sore from that game, mate?
Mate, I'm aching. I'm in dead set, that much pain I can hardly walk. It's taken me days to recover, and I still don't think I'm getting worse.
You are. You should see him hobbling around the studio here. Anyhow, let's forget about that and move on to race 7, the Group 1 Kirk's Doomben Cup over the 20 metres. Jess, what have you picked here?
I've got an absolute special.
You got a moral, haven't you?
A moral. I think this horse is the best bet of the program, pending no rain. We just hope we don't get any rain overnight, and I dead set think this horse will win, and will win convincingly. I like number 5, Shootout, from the Johnny Wallace stable. This horse is a very high quality horse. He's a Group 1 AJC Derby winner. It's got Corey Brown on board. He's a weight for age winner. He's coming back to his 4th run back from a spell, and we were down the track and watching him work over the week, and he looks to come back in fine form. He's strong, he's athletic, he looks good in the coat, he's bright-eyed, and for me, on a firm track, bit like yourself, Paul, and for me, I think Shootout is a special. I'm putting him on top. My Kingdom of Fife looks to be in danger, but I think it's been suited with the wet tracks, and for me, you can write your ticket for what runs 2nd and 3rd, because all I'm caring about, I just think Shootout will win, the local Queenslander, and I'm staying with him.
Beautiful. Well, I've taken number 6, My Kingdom of Fife. Mate, he just hasn't done anything wrong so far. He's had 3 runs in Australia.
Yeah, but it's been on a wet track.
Doesn't matter.
No, you can have
Doesn't matter.
You can have your
What
Tommy horse.
odds are you giving me?
No, you can write your own ticket.
Beautiful.
Shootout will win.
You can hear that. Ring up Jess. Just email him straight away. He'll write you a ticket for My Kingdom of Fife. For 2nd, I like Glass Harmonium. Ran a great race for 2nd behind My Kingdom of Fife in the Hollandale Stakes at the Gold Coast, and that was his 1st run in Australia. And for 3rd, I've thrown in the Old Warrior and Scenic Shot, winner of the race back in 2009. He'll be in there and be close to it. Anyhow, now we move on to the dynamic John Wallace interview, and we see Shootout at Back to the Track.
I'm with one of Gold Coast leading trainers, Johnny Wallace, the trainer of Shootout. John, how's he coming along?
Yeah, really well, Jess. He's pulled up good after the Hollandale. I thought he was very unlucky in the race. I don't know whether he'd have won, but he would have run 2nd, I think, with a clear run, and he's done nicely since.
Just looking at him now working, he looks to be working in fine form.
Yeah, no, mate, he is, and yeah, we're very happy with him. So, touch wood, everything keeps going good for Saturday.
What's his project? What's his program from here on in?
He'll run in the Doomben Cup Saturday, and then go 2 weeks to the Eagle Farm Cup, which is a weight for age race 2200, and then have 3 or 4 weeks out at Peachester Lodge and get ready for the sprint.
And his regular rider, Corey Brown, will be on him?
Yeah, he's riding him Saturday, and he was very happy with his run the other day.
With a horse like Shootout, they're few and far between. Personally and emotionally, what Shootout brought for you and added to your life?
Oh, he's put a new spring in my step, and they're very hard to get, good horses like him, and very wrapped in him, mate, and he's a pleasure to train. The people that own him are really lovely people, and yeah, it's great.
Well, you're right, Shootout does look really good, and that it's a credit to Johnny. He's got him looking magnificent. So on what I've just seen on the video footage and that, I'll be throwing him into my first 4 anyhow.
You want to be doing more than that. After I was seeing them in the flesh, I think he's a special. I'm right on. Anyway, I'm moving on. I'm not going to talk about it because I'm just on. Number 16, Guibe. I like number 16 on top here from the Anthony Cummings stable, down in the weights. She's by Fastnet Rock, and I believe...
yeah, we sold her as a weanling for 100,000, so she's nearly earned that in prize money, but in residual value as a filly, she's worth more than that. And with the national weanling sales coming up next Wednesday, it's a chance for our viewers to get down here to the Magic Millions complex and have a look at what's going on for offer.
Yeah, no, I like 16, Guibe on top. I'm putting in number 1, Skilled. I did think this horse would have won the race had it not drawn out in a barrier 18. It's got a rating of 103, the highest rating horse in the race, and definitely, the one that's going to danger Guibe the most. And number 5, Pimpala Secret, who's by the stallion we saw earlier on in the show in Monashi Mountain. So I like 16, 1 and 5.
Yes, in race 8, which is a Group 3, the Fred Bress Classic that we're talking about, I like number 13, Military Rose. She was back to her best at the Gold Coast last start. She's drawn the inside gate, or barrier 2. I think she'll jump, ping, and she'll be hard to run down. I like Steel Zip, was good winner over the trip at Doomben 2 starts ago. And Celtic Dancer, who from the Noel Doyle stable's been in very consistent form lately. He's won at the track and distance. I think he'll be heading in the money as well. So that's 13, 6 and 4.
No, it's great. It's a great program coming up this weekend.
Oh, super program there at the Brisbane Racing Club at Doomben.
And I think if you get on Listen Son and Shootout, you'll come out in front.
Yeah, have a bit of your Hummer money on, but don't use it all.
Well, next week we catch up with Chris Muntz. We look at Race 3 Stallion, Greenwood Lake. And again, we have Larry Cassidy. We'll be taking a day looking at Larry at the races. So there's another big program coming up next week and plenty of more winners. So join us next week. And remember, you can always catch us at www.racinginqueensland.com. So there's plenty coming up, plenty to look forward to. Thanks for joining us. Same time, same place. Bye for now.